Hello, CHUF lovers. Welcome back to another episode of CHUF Analysis with your host, Levi Tapper. Here we've got a matchup between the Carrboro Clams and Chapel High School CHUF at Mayhem in Martinsville in Virginia. CHUF won this game, I believe, by a solid margin. Now, here we have some faulty defense from Chapel Hill. Just initially, the first thing that I see is that when you have someone on a dump, it's usually helpful to actually have someone playing defense on them so that they don't get a free upline as he did and get so many yards or power position. That's just my opinion. Some people have different opinions on that, but for me that's so. Another thing, when you're setting up a mark, the forces flick here. Looks like Zin is trying to just mark, but that mark should be more around. So Zin should move a lot to his right, so that basically they can't get the around and can't get that off of the sideline, because when the thrower is on the sideline and they're forced to just throw the flick like he has just into that short window, it makes the throw much harder and it makes it much easier for them to get a turnover. So when Zin allows that around, it makes it a lot easier for them, and then they get the easy swing. Maybe we're forcing middle, but no one's really setting a good mark here. Maybe not. Oh, Ruben gets an unfortunate little trip there. Looks like he tries to get a layout D and just... That's unfortunate. Well, as we rewind that a little bit, we can actually look and we can see as Ruben is running, his legs actually... Let's see. As Ruben is running, his legs actually come out from under him, and he just kind of falls. And then Nico gets the free pass and then gets a free swing. Now Zin, again, not playing defense. Oh, an unfortunate drop from Nate there. But when you're playing defense, as soon as the person catches the disc, you should start running to get on the mark, because a mark is very helpful in disrupting a throw. So that's a lucky drop for CHUF, but it looks like no one was guarding Nate as well. So maybe CHUF is running some kind of poach, or everyone's just not playing defense. Either way, it's okay. Ruben comes up to grab the disc, walking a little slowly, walking backwards. Maybe try not to trip again. That turf is tough sometimes, you know. Ruben taps it in, gives a good fake. Ooh, travels a little bit. That's okay. Ruben makes a good cut, sets up in the right space. I've been trying to emphasize setting up in the right space on dumps in these videos. So here we see Ruben setting up 45 back because he's on the open side. Excuse me. 45 back on the open side, so he can either go right behind Jerry and catch a free free catch pass. That's the word. And get easy throw over to the break side. Or he can make that fake and go up line and then get power position. Either way, it makes it a lot easier for Ruben to get the disc, and it gives him enough space to make the move that he wants to make when he sets up where he does. Although maybe set up a little bit farther back. And there he does it. He goes back and then gets a great swing over to Jerry instead of throwing to the break side, since no one was cutting under. Another thing to think about when someone makes that dump cut to the bones, which is what we call it when you go behind the person. When you make that dump cut, come in on the break side so that the thrower, as soon as they make the dump cut, they can have an easier round break, and you get a lot of yards out of that. Just something to think about when Ruben makes that cut. Ruben makes his bones. You should just come right in. Now Ruben throws it quickly back to Jerry because he sees there are no options. And now Jerry has the disc. Again, Ruben sets up in the correct space. A little bit up from Jerry because he's on the break side. So in this instance, Ruben can make a fake backwards, get an easy around. Ruben can make a fake backwards, go up line, get a great around with upline spacing. Or he can kind of back up. It just gives him a lot of room and a lot of space to make the cut he needs to make. But although being on the break side as a dump is not the most favorable position. Here we go. Now Jerry throws an under to Cole, Cole's throwing a flick. This isn't going to be good. Cole manages to get the flick off, barely. Almost gets around Bodie, but it's okay. Bodie makes a great catch. We're lucky there. You never want Cole to be on the flick side, because turnovers will be imminent. Now here's Bodie with the disc. Ruben setting up behind him, but as I said before, Ruben backs up to get an easier round, so Bodie can really step out and put that out to space because Ruben's backing up so much, as I said before. Now Bodie puts off the around, and Ruben looks around. Cole didn't really commit to that cut enough, and he wasn't really that open, so Ruben wasn't able to throw that initial break throw. But Jerry comes under, and Ruben gets a weird little scoober off to Jerry, maybe a little bit too far ahead, but the idea was good, and Jerry Bids makes a great play, catches the disc. Now, here's another thing. Jerry gets it off to Ruben and immediately makes his upline cut because he predicts where he can go. There we go, and he gets it. Because as soon as Jerry lets it off, he knows that he can easily get into that space because his mark, since he's throwing to the flick side, his mark will be on the side of the backhand. His mark is on the break side, and he can actually just get a clear and easy upline for great amount of yards and power position. There he is. He's open. Ruben waits a little bit too long to throw it, but he still gets it off. That's all right. CHUF's vert is maybe, well, it looks fine. It's just Alex maybe wants to back up a little bit more to space it out and not be so close to Jerry, because as soon as you make your cut, you can make your own space. You don't need to start setting up close to Jerry like Alex is doing. That's more of a side stack thing to be out in space. Now Jerry throws a great little around. Maybe he needs to put it out a little bit in front of Bodie there so that the defender doesn't have any chance to make a play. That's all right. Bodie grabs it. Here, Jerry sets up in the right space. Our handlers are really good at doing this. We have a great handler core on CHUF. So Jerry sets up in the right space, 45 back, as I said. And now Bodie has options. He has options from the stack, which is doing just a terrible job of spacing and being in a good... So when we're doing a vert stack, you want it to be a line across the field. So, like vertically, not horizontally. That's all we call it a vert. So when you're actually going horizontally, it makes it harder to make cuts. That's more of a horizontal stack, which is a different thing, So we're not really doing that. Everyone's just kind of standing around. And, as I've said before, chaos is sometimes oh, it looks like we get a call. That's okay. As I've said before, chaos is sometimes an important thing, because out of chaos comes greatness in some cases. Maybe not in this case. That's okay. Excuse me. Now Jerry makes his bones cut. Bodie throws it out ahead of him. So the mark does an okay job of sealing me around and preventing Jerry from throwing to the break side for a free round. But Jerry just gets that easy to the flick side and makes this strike cut again and gets open again. Bodie doesn't throw it. Maybe he didn't think he was open or didn't see it in time. And instead he throws a... What? Is that... Oh, no. Bodie throws an unadvisable throw. It was well placed. Yeah, it's okay. That's okay. Okay. And Alex does the same thing. Again, Alex catches the disc, throws it over to Bodie, and then makes his strike cut because he knows that the flick side will be open. And there we go. Bodie basically makes a bones cut and throws to the break side, like I've been saying is totally possible because Jerry makes his cut down. And now Jerry has all of this space open on the break side before his mark sets up. No one cuts, so he can't utilize it, but it was open, so that was good. Looks like our stack is still not doing what it's supposed to be doing. And Ruben's just kind of running out of the front. A lot of handler movement on this one. Bodie gets a giant, big shot. Oh, Zinn misreads it. He had Josh beat, but just kind of drops it. That's okay. I mean, it happens sometimes. And here we go. We have Mr. Oh, no one's picking up. Oh, who got injured? Was that Seiji? Someone garner an injury. We can't see it because Sean didn't film the fucking injury. That sucks. Sean, bro. What are you doing? Let's skip past this little pause. I don't really need this. Okay. Now, Anil taps the disc in. Daniel playing great under defense. He doesn't want to get beat deep because so he lets his defender kind of go under. Daniel does this a lot where he knows he's faster than the person he's defending, so he kind of lets them get the free under, so that he can like get a run through D, because it doesn't look like he could get it because he's running slowly, and then as soon as the throw goes off, he starts running fast, and then he gets the D. We see the clams doing some good handler movement, setting up in the correct spaces, making weird-ass... Well, Josh, what the fuck? That's a good... I mean, it's fine. Making weird cuts and getting open. Kyle, good seal, but, well, bad seal by Kyle, because Anil got the around. And it looks like, one more time, no one's guarding people. Now, yeah, as we can see, as CHUF has actually had a problem with no one's actually guarding people. Kyle's just kind of running around, and Daniel's forced to guard 2 people, which is obviously not ideal. Here we go. We have Cole back on the mark, and Jerry gets a good mark, and Alex just gets beat right to the open side. That's something that you don't want to do, So when Alex is setting up here, if we go back, Alex is standing in front of his guy, and then his guy just runs around him because Alex isn't looking at him. So generally in defense, looking at your offender is helpful, But that's just my opinion. Thank you for tuning into another episode of CHUF Analysis. Please come back next time for another great episode. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Levi Tapper. I'm joined here by Shan Moran.